Hello, everyone. This is another episode of another deep dialogue with Sugar Sugar. We have Maverick here, and today's topic is going to be, and we're going to kind of touch on um, our side pieces necessary. So,
Whoa, Nelly.
so have you ever been a side piece before?
You know what? It's funny because the necessity of the side piece is based on the woman's need. And then you don't really know you're a side piece until you realize, like, oh yeah, she don't need me for nothing else. You try to volunteer some help or some something that you wasn't asked for. And she's like, I don't call you for that. You know what you're here for.
So
So
you were a side piece and you didn't even know you were a side piece.
didn't even know it. Yeah. So to all you side pieces out there, I hope you know you a side piece. Don't think you in a distant relationship, a non-communicator relationship.
So is that how you would know you're a side piece if you're the person isn't communicative or
I
like
mean, if anything is not given as equal or at least 50-50, I mean, the communication can at least be there. I feel if you're a side piece and whether you're a man or a woman, they should at least let you know. I've literally had someone ask me this week at work without, can I be a side nigga? I was like, you want me to be your side?
she actually
She
said,
literally was
"Can
like,
you
yeah,
be my side?"
young. I was like, I was thrown off. I was caught off guard. She's cute, attractive, but I was just like, the first thing that hit my mind was like, was my value of
The
of
relationship or
yeah, of the relationship of what you're looking for from me is only for a side piece. Like you only want to see what you can get out of me from what you want. Other than that, you don't see me as nothing else. That's the first thing that went through my head. I was like, I don't know. I'm gonna get back to you with that. Like, let me check my palm powder and I'm see. I don't know.
I don't know if I don't know if I can put that on my agenda.
Let me see my Ebonic dictionary. Nope, I don't think that's in there. Side. Oh no. Let me
the,
check
re-
my G code book.
the main reason why I even came up, well, the person that I initially started all this with, the premise of a lot of the videos that he had did before, the video we did was side niggas and side pieces and side bitches. Like that's kind of the theme that he kind of went on.
Right.
And I was listening to some of his videos. Of course they were a little boring or whatever, and they were uninformational. Like if you, I mean, to me, like I guess you really can't inform someone on being a side piece, but I just didn't understand it.
Right.
And then it's this whole thing with the baby and Danny Lay and all that stuff. I kind of was like, he know doggone well she wasn't a side piece because how did like when does a side piece transition into your main woman? Or like I've talked to a lot of people regarding this side piece thing literally over the last like 2 weeks because I've been trying to
Get
put a lot of
insight.
stuff together regarding side pieces and stuff like that. Even
A lot
before
of them don't even
even
know what it
before
is.
the whole the baby thing, like I don't know, because it's like first of all, I think you're right. Like, if you're a side piece, you need to know you're a side piece. You can't just throw side piece on someone and them not even know at all that they're a side piece. I think that's a bit ridiculous. And
That's
what's the difference between a side piece and just somebody you having sex with?
see now that's the thing. Now, when someone says side piece to me, based on the age of the person asking, you already know they have somebody. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever that person is not getting from that at home, the side piece is supposed to fulfill. That's
Mm-hmm.
why my favorite song from Pleasure P, Boyfriend Number Two. If you can be boyfriend number two, the scientific way of side piece, boyfriend number two. You have to do, and usually it's probably a sexual fulfillment. So basically, to answer the question, when does that side piece come?
Mm-hmm.
A relationship. If that sexual encounterment becomes often, chemistry starts to build unexpectedly. Now you're now the person that asks for the side piece is like, where you at? How you doing? The husband is now looking at the wife like, why you gonna be tracking for me? I'm not checking for me no more. So it's going to it's funny because people are in a love triangle and everyone's feelings is involved, whether it's just side nigga dick or not. You feel some kind of way it made you want to lay with them.
That's true. And you know the crazy thing is, so I looked up the definition of a side piece. Did you know that? First of all, I didn't know there was a need for a definition of a side piece. I think that's okay.
Number 2.
But it never said. It says slang, and then it says a woman, but it doesn't say or man, but it just says a woman who has continuous sexual relationship with the man who has a wife or a regular girlfriend. So I'm a bit confused. Like, did a man write that? Like, why does it say a woman? Because a side piece can be a man or a woman. We know that. I mean, Tupac coined the phrase, I'd rather be your Nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, he literally said that.
Another form of boyfriend number 2. Yes.
Well, that's a side piece. And he like, I was in the mid-90s.
Yeah.
So it's like, how are you comparing? Like, why does it say a woman? And I'm gonna get off of that one because that's weird that it just says a woman.
Well, you can't don't attack that the origin of who wrote it, because he most likely did say that, because I'm a man, and that was a chauvinistic kind of definition. We'll keep it open minded. Yeah, man or woman / his or her side piece. Right. Because of the fact that everybody have needs and no one's perfect, and the insecurities that are being pushed out through America has people just like, if you can't give it to me, I just find it in the cut. If I'm quiet about it, I just won't get caught. Like, nigga, karma is the energy of negativity balancing out positivity. So you will eventually get your karma.
Because I remember on what's
tell him be a side nigga and tell your husband he's slipping and he better get it together. And why he's
or you can just break up with that person. Because I'd rather for a person to just break up with me than be somebody's side anything. Like, first of all, and then I think there's an element of being selfish within people who don't tell the other person. Like, because some people don't even know they're a side piece, like you said earlier initially. Like, they're a side piece and don't even know it, and they think they're the main, but really you the side. And he got a whole wife at home and this, that, and the third. Because it's funny, because one of the people that I had spoken with or whatever, they had a spouse at home, and they had been dating that person for a long time. And after over a year of dating, and he was spending time with her. I guess I said her, so it's a female or whatever. He was spending time with her and everything. And she ended up getting pregnant, and that's the only reason why she found out that he had a whole wife at home.
And that's the somewhat form of the karma, because I like karma because it shows it guarantees a consequence in every action and non-action. So for the person sitting here, this misleading the other person, making them believe that they number one and then the side piece, and that's what you just said, the man make believe she the one.
Mm-hmm.
His consequence was that child. Now who the one? You the one. All that.
He had a whole wife, kids, and the whole shebang too.
Got the whole lifestyle that
a whole additional
to her, like she finna get it. You already got it.
Exactly. And then the crazy thing about it is, even when you think about back in the day, do you remember back in the day where you would hear greats talking about, oh yeah, he had a whole family across the tracks, or he had another wife and kids, like 2 streets down, and they all knew about each other. And like you hear all this stuff. So side pieces ain't new. It's not a new phenomenon that they had that. And the crazy thing about it is he'll be taking care of 2 families or whatever. So
And that's my point.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm like a perfect dude or nothing, but there's certain things that just morally and lifestylishly don't make sense when it comes to having a side piece. Being a side piece is one thing, but having one, if you're insecure, you or they see like an old person, he a side piece because he probably don't have no dating time and none, and he got something young, and that young person just likes older people. So boom, you a side piece.
Is he a side piece? Or, no, he's not a side piece. She's still the side piece, but he's a trick.
Okay, well, they're based on the rule and the age, right?
Well, it's not even that rule and the age. It's based on per definition of what we just read. The definition of what a side piece is. If he has a solid relationship with someone and he has her on the side, whoever is on the side is the side piece. Because the wife and kids is the main dish. Say what?
So every side piece is AKA a trick.
No.
Were you tricking off that D?
Every side. No, by definition, if we're going by the definition of because to be a side piece, you have to be in a relationship. If you guys are neither one of y'all in a relationship, then the dynamics may shift and change, and you know what I'm saying, the logistics of it may change. But if you're married or you have a long-term or a solid girlfriend, and you know what I'm saying, you tricking off somebody on the side or whatever you got something else on the side, that's a side piece.
Yeah.
So per that definition, whether you a male or a female, that person is a trick. Because the fact of the matter is, I'm sure that whoever the side piece is wouldn't be fucking with you if you weren't slanging that day or you weren't giving that money.
Okay, I feel that. That okay. Yeah. But me personally, I think it's too fucking energy wasting. I can't juggle 2 or 3 people. If you honest with yourself, I don't see how a person can just live 2 lives. You live a lie and half a lie at home. That's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, but a lot of people do it. A lot of people, and then now, I think because it is so rapid and rampant and ridiculous, to me it is, but to many people it's not. It's their norm. I think that's why you see a lot of people in these polyamorous relationships, or you know what I'm saying, open relationships, like with Monique and her husband. They're in an open relationship, and because they have in their mind that there is no monogamy and monogamy is dead and it should have never been, and they think it's a European mindset to be monogamous. And it's weird that they say that, because when you look at the polygamy, of course you think about the Muslim religion, you think about in Africa or in these places like that. But when I think about polygamy in America, I always think about the Mormon culture, and they're European. So it's like, why are you saying I would understand them saying that it's a Western mindset, but maybe, you know what I'm saying, to be monogamous, one man, one wife. But you can't say that it's a European mindset when they've been Mormons. They came over here Mormons.
How about this? How about not even worrying? How about confusing you and deceiving you to make you believe it and blame it on a type of people when it's actually a lifestyle, and it's called an ancient lifestyle, when people only did certain things. As the time went by and these people are deceasing and the practices are being not passed down, there's people taking pieces of it and starting things called religions, and the practices of it are polygamy. Period. All day long. and they want you to believe
polyamorous relationship, polygamy, side pieces, pimps and hoes.
Everything. Just when I hear poly, I think many. Don't give me no polygram, no polygamy, no polygander, no. Probably don't want a cracker, nothing. But yeah, polygamy is retarded, and it's been here for. See, the one thing I like about paying attention to the times that we live in, I thank God that I've been here for 4 decades, and I can actually look back and see that there was a time when God and love was in the world and in the system. And I've watched him slowly pick it in pieces and take it out. Right now, they have people distracted in school about there's no music in school. They're taking out sports. They took out language arts and things like that. Those are the things that stimulate creativity. So of course they don't want that because you can't control people if they're constantly creating.
Mm-hmm.
So then what they do is create a platform for people to feel that they are still creating, but they're really not. They're just following each other and remixing and copying. Then every now and then you'll find that creator. That's the best way to see the creator from a follower, and then take him out that bunch, put him in Hollywood, and have the whole world praise him, and they following him.
Well, you know, Hollywood started as Hollywood. When I heard, I was like, how did Hollywood transition from literally called Hollywood with God and everything? That's what the basis of it, and that's where it originated, and then it became Hollywood.
See, the thing is about the whole Hollywood thing is that when I looked it up, I looked up the word, the etymology of it. Hollywood is actually a plant that God created. And you can find it. It's old, European, Australian area. But in ancient times, people used Hollywood to harness energy. And that's what you see on movies in Hollywood. You see wizards with a stick. A magic wand was from Hollywood only. And it was able to, like, you know, how you can holistically do something to the stick. That's where Hollywood came from.
The magic stick.
Yeah. So when we look at
the magic stick,
the city of Hollywood, is like everything is to be presented majestically, but it's really magically. And it's on 3 letters that change majestic and magic from each other. One's God's, one's not God's. So magic is not a good thing. Majestic magic is coldness. That's how creation self-manifests and does its things. We work and manifest our words, and next thing you know, we're doing it and living it. That's majestic. But magic, oh yeah, you need the ingredients for that. And you have to harness power.
Well, you have to harness the power from either or. Just to get back on topic when it comes to having a side piece or an additional person or whatever. It just I wonder, is it lack of communication? Is it no self-control? A lot of people that you froze. I'm not sure what happened. You may want to get out and get back on.
Oh, there we go. Are you back?
I hear you. It froze for a bit. But a lot of people who, when you ask them, are side chicks necessary? Like I literally asked about 50 people. Some people didn't answer. Some people had blanket answers. I don't know. And some people said it depends, or some people talked about what other people did. And I was asking them specifically, but they weren't being specific for some people. But the biggest answer I got was, I think sometimes for some people, a side chick is necessary, but only for some time, because they get tired of the relationship that they're in.
Right. That makes sense. I
think just to kind of find something new, to kind of
I guess
find a right within themselves. If they're not feeling their best, or the communication is gone, or whatever's lacking in their relationship, they love the person that they're with, and they want to stay with the person that they're with, but they kind of want to experience something new just for a short period of time, or they just kind of want to get their toe wet, and then, you know what I'm saying, going back home.
As they say in the workforce or the labor force, if they want to change the monotony. You know, the mundane that they've been getting. Not saying it ain't good dick or a good woman, but they've been getting it. Like, damn, this is. Let me try and get a different way. It should be up there already. It should be up there. No, leave my shit right there. Don't touch it. Don't take it out the wall. Like I was saying, I was rudely interrupted. Whoa. Yeah. Side chicks, man. The insecurity that makes a person have a side chick is one thing, but most of the time it's probably the monotony in the relationship that they have, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna just make a year. Let me see if I still got it. Let me see if I can still. Mostly men, I can speak honestly for men, and there's gonna be a lot in denial, but a real one will be like, yeah, if I feel that I'm not having the spice, I might go get spice from another woman for just a week. And if she didn't show me 2 or 3 new things, now I'm gonna try bring that shit home or something. Like, I didn't know. I'll be like, I tell people, once you suggest watching nudity with the woman, see if she wants to try new things. Take her to the toy store and buy her toys.
Just the 1 second.
You know,
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna mute your video, and then I'll keep your voice on because it's freezing up a lot.
That'll work.
So go ahead and stop your video, and then we can still have the verbal conversation.
That will work.
Okay, because it's yeah. Okay, so go ahead. I'm sorry.
Take me out the picture.
No, you took yourself out.
The beautiful voice coming from the other side of the gray circle head. But yeah, side pieces. It's either, I think it's really monotony or insecurity. And I feel if it's the insecurity, you should sit down and have a real talk with your partner.
I agree.
And if it's the monotony, you should really sit down and talk.
Sit down and have a conversation with your partner. Either way.
And if you can't sit down and feel it can't be fixed, sit down with your partner and tell them that it can't be fixed and you're ready to go. But don't be sitting there wasting people's time.
And that's what I feel.
Gonna do.
I agree.
What their partner's gonna do.
I agree. I feel the same way because I feel like, what's the point in playing with me? You know what I'm saying? And playing with my time. If you don't want to be together, like let's do that. Let it be that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then the thing. And what, baby, I want to be with you. I don't know, just something going on with me. Oh, stop it.
Yeah, get yourself together, nigga.
Like,
how about that?
I feel like we have to, there's no self-control anymore. Like, I don't know. I don't know if people need to do more karate or what. But I feel like when it comes to a lot of different things, like men looking at these little ass girls just because they wear, when a girl's a little girl, you know what I'm saying? Like there's no self-control. Like there's no onus on what the separation between to do or not to do is, or I don't know. I like
what you're honing in on is that you're seeing the morale of humanity be flipped. That's why I was saying that when I've been watching it for the last 40 years being alive, I've been watching God be taken out of the storybook of history. And then the future has been talked about more than yesterday. And tomorrow, what they talk about is what they want is a new world order, which is totally opposite of God. And that's what you're like feeling. Like, why are these niggas not like men? Like, when did they start not being men no more? When did they start not wanting to be men? But it started.
And it's because they don't want to be men anymore.
Yeah, but I'm saying that started when I was in the 90s. I remember I was saying certain things growing up, right? And certain men would tell me, like, why do you think like that? Like, you ain't gonna make it long thinking like that. You ain't gonna last long. Like, don't no woman want no man to act like that. I'd be like what? Honestly, not afraid to tell him how I really am, whether I'm a gangster or homeless. That's me.
Right.
If you don't want them to know, I mean, what would you tell them then? Like, literally, what could you tell them, and then how would you show them if it's a lie? It's amazing. Like, to live 90% of the world right now lives a lie or a facade. Like it's Halloween year round. I just wrote a song called Masquerade Party, talking about how people live in a facade every day.
That's true. And it's crazy that you say that because I was watching this show on TV, and this wasn't a show, it was like a little documentary. The lady literally said that she has in her life had to wear so many masks from childhood to now, and she's like in her early 30s, look to be in her early 30s. She literally don't know who she is because she's been forced to wear a mask her whole life. Like, people willingly wear masks, and people wear and then I won't compare that to people wearing different hats, because at church, at work, at home, you know what I'm saying, in the store, like, people wear different hats, and that's okay. But wearing a mask is you're being a whole different person than your true self. So you can be your true self and still not be cooping and howling and cussing and acting a fool because of your surroundings, because you know how to anchor yourself and to control yourself in certain surroundings. But people literally wear a different mask. They are a whole, like, they don't know who they are. Like, in a relationship, they're a whole different person. Then, you know what I'm saying? Then you'll go out with them. And you're like, is that you? You know what I'm saying? Like, hold on. Like, right. You doing something different. Like, right. There's some new stuff here. Like, what's happening here? So I agree.
And that really stems from, it's, I don't know. I stay in my book. So what I personally feel it is, I feel it stems from just naturally being born in sin and knowing that we're deep down in our spiritual world that we have inside of us. We know we're born wrong, and so we'll get around someone and we'll try to be
born wrong or born in a wrong circumstance or situation. Because I don't feel like I don't feel like people are born. That's learned behaviors.
No, the world is teaching certain things, right? But to be born in this world is a beautiful thing. But to look at the situation you're in, like me personally, I can use myself. 70s baby raised in a crack house. My perspective, based on me learning the Bible at an early age, made my eyes see the beauty in my damaged world. A lot of people at my age could not understand that. I'm 10 years old in the 6th grade, and they're like, why are you always happy, but your clothes are holy, and you know, they don't fit, your pants are high water, and they're just laughing and joking at me. And I'm like, that's not funny, but yeah, okay. And they're like, why doesn't that bother you? Why doesn't it get on your skin? I'm like, because I'm grateful for having clothes on my back. You don't know that. You don't see that because you think having clothes on your back is normal. No, it's not. There's people in the world that don't have that. There's people in the world that don't even know how to go get that.
Yeah.
And I knew that at an early age. So there's a lot of things that will make people grow up and either appreciate what they have and who they are, or they will masquerade party their whole life. And by the time they get adult, they're like, man, I do not know why I can't keep a woman, or I can't keep a job, or I want to be rich, but I'm not rich, but I got all this talent. Me personally,
right?
That's what I've been going through. And I'm like, I figured it out. I was like, because I got it. That's what made me write Masquerade Party. I said, I have to take my mask off. I'm like, Vince, you're not a kid anymore. You don't have to,
pretend. That's true. I think that kind of goes into wearing a mask or whatever. And you talking about how the masquerade is there and stuff like that. It kind of ventures into what they call hoe culture or pimp culture and stuff like that, because I feel like the transition happened probably when you were young, but I feel like the transition truly happened when it became hip or cool or whatever to be a pimp or a hoe. Well, I don't think it's ever been that cool to be a hoe or whatever, but I feel like hoe culture has transitioned our world into the no morals, into, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's been a big hindrance to what's going on too.
Well, the life of a Jezebel and that in the word was always a culturistic lifestyle. It was always in the land of Canaan. It was in certain lands, you know. Sodom and
So would you say that the United States and where we are now, like, is a Sodom and Gomorrah or whatever type of lifestyle? I mean, it kind of is if you think about it. Not in every town, every city, but if you read the Bible and you see all that stuff that was going on, it kind of do remind you of Sodom and Gomorrah. Men having men having sex with men, women having sex with women, and just the turmoil, and even like in every aspect, like it's terrible. The fire, the like no morals. People will slap your grandma. People will slap a child. People don't have any type of moral compass like this. It's like it's been disintegrated. Your internet is going in and out.
I guess so. I don't know. I haven't even moved either.
It's terrible.
But yeah, that is crazy how a message can be on this planet and be told the same message from one book can be told over.
This ain't nothing new.
Yeah, it's nothing new under the sun, but you can represent some old in a new way to a new person that ain't never even experienced what
or thought of it
at all. Yeah. Like TikTok and
right.
YouTube and all these forms of instant video to capture moments in life that have no distinct purpose. To live with no purpose is one of the main ways to have chaos.
It is.
And I'm looking at my world as full of chaos. No one can focus on helping. America used to focus on helping poor people in third world countries. Now we the third world country because everybody done left there and came here.
I wouldn't say that. We're definitely not a third world country. You kind of pushing it, but I understand where you're coming from.
Okay. If I go to Popeyes and I don't see, if I'm in the South and I go to Popeyes and I see Mexicans, and employees and like two niggas, I think I'm in a third world country.
Well, I mean, we have a lot of the third world people, but this isn't a third world country. I mean, let's be clear. We have running water. I mean, the police is corrupt here, but you know what I'm saying? It's not corrupt to the point where we literally have to give them $5 or $10 for them not to arrest us. You know what I'm saying? Like the corruption is definitely there, but we're not a third world country. Come on.
The one thing I like about traveling is that when you do go to a different country and you see the difference in, because I'm an architect, so I look at the way things are built. So I know how they build things on ley lines. So I'm also looking at how they're building it between the mountains and the valleys. And all the minorities are always put in a bowl in a valley. I don't care what country I've been in, what state I've been in. Every state has a valley and every land has a valley. And you go to those valleys, there are poor people there. And then around the poor people are the rich people in the hills. And it drives me nuts.
Yeah, it is. And you know who was just talking about that? I can't remember who. Actually, I don't know who was talking about. I don't know if it was Boyce Watkins or who it was. I was watching somebody's stream on Instagram, and they literally was talking about how the reason why some of the inner city, not because a lot of times your valley is where your inner city is, and they were pushed right there. You know what I'm saying? They were pushed into the inner city, and what is it around? It's around it's around all the industrial area or the businesses and stuff like that. Not necessarily the rich people houses, but it's businesses and offices and stuff like that around airports. And if you look around the airports, if you look around even the White House in Washington, D.C., like it's literally impoverished around the White House. So the reason why they did that is because especially when you go up north, New York, when you go up more Virginia and places like that, the reason why it's heavily impoverished in those areas is because a lot of them came from the South. And when they initially built those industrial cities and stuff like that, when they were built, well, the people who were building them lived around there. And they were pushed out of it once they were done building it.
And that's
who are those people? The black
because
people.
When I was in San Bernardino, I understand that totally because that's one of the number one hubs in the United States for Santa Fe Railroad. It stops right there in San Bernardino. The Metro still stops right there in San Bernardino. And I was raised across the street from it. But when I was growing up and doing reports and stuff, I would always do them about my town. So I did one about the Santa Fe San Bernardino railroad tracks and Route 66. Man, those were trade routes.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what? What? Wait, you telling me y'all used to? Okay. So now when you tell me about how the slaves did help build and live near that, that makes sense why a lot of people today, even to this day, the modern day slavery era, they will post Abraham Lincoln, they will live near their job.
Mm-hmm.
Even though there's noise. And I'm an architect. So when you build, you don't want a lot of residential by industrial because of pollution and sickness and stuff.
But that's a learned thing.
Wait.
But that's a new concept. Excuse me, that's a new concept. That's a new concept because initially that wasn't the case. Because you didn't have pollution and things like that yet.
Working in coal mines dying in their mind.
Right.
They still wasn't like, look, we need to build a hospital or a clinic or something. It's like, no, nigga, we need to get these guys some more water and they need to work harder. Like, wait, what? Wait, what? Open a window in his mind. It's hot. So it's like, I don't know. It's common sense. The more you learn in college from these people, the more people need to apply it to human morale. And then you will see what makes sense in the book and what don't. And then when you take that, oh my God, you can change this world. You can change your world that helps change the world around you. Mm-hmm. That's what I've learned. That's how I used to get famous in the 90s. People used to do things. If I wanted to get famous, I would start cutting hair in San Bernardino like I did. And then if I blew up in San Bernardino, it was bound to be known. We didn't have cell phones or none of that. And you would still be like, bro, did you hear about that? Word of mouth is still, to me, one of the most coldest way to communicate and get popular. The distraction is the video. There's no way everybody's going to see your video. There's a million videos they got options to choose from. Why would they choose yours?
Right. I mean, and that's what, even for this video that we're doing, that's going to be the thing.
Right. But it's the energy we give off that manifests to people to watch because we're giving off a positive wisdom, informative energy to make where the world is in need of that.
Right.
So I will be thanking you guys, and let me thank you now for tuning in to Love Some Sugar, because she is the business.
Love me some sugar.
Not this. Yeah, I do. Especially brown sugar. Only if it's brown.
Brown sugar, babe.
That's it, and that's all in a nutshell. I mean,
and so just to end this, and I'm gonna end the at the end of this. So just a lasting comment on it. Do you feel like whole culture brought in a side piece, or making it popular and normalizing a side piece? And like, what do you like? What would you say?
I got one thing that will make everybody be like, oh yeah, I didn't realize that. Hip hop is today's portal to trend the youth. They don't use cartoons no more. They'll use cartoons for toddlers. Mm-hmm. I have small ones. But when I looked at my 10, 11, 12, and teenagers, I'm looking at what they're doing. They're TikTok, YouTube, and entertainment. Their music.
Right.
And I noticed that. But now we get back to the whole thing. 2007, we were going through our music. Hip hop, the industry, he's like, dude, we're losing our people. They're going to take over music. We don't know what the fuck to do. We got Pimp C drinking syrup and shit. And they're hoes, they're pimping. He's like, exactly.
The thugs. Because, initially it was thugs.
Right. And it changed to the South, and down South, they pimp.
They've been pimping.
Exactly. So now what's on the radio with number one wordplay? Pimpish insecurities or bragging. That's hip hop now.
Definitely is.
So yes, to answer your question, you damn right. Them niggas been. And then they won't let Pimp C stay alive to be like Tupac and let you know, look, this pimping thing is what I do, not what I'm telling you to do. Because he says that in his music. This is what I do. This is how I get down. I'm Chad. This is how Chad walks. It's not your walk. You couldn't walk a mile in my Stacey Morris anyway. But they took
Not
him off the
Stacey
radio.
Adams. You said Stacey Morgan.
Maurice, my Maurice. Stacey's or Maurice, one or the other. But yeah, so yeah, that's how I see things. I don't really call it conspiracy. I just call it pre-written and the form of control on the energy of negative and positive. You don't know enough about solar energy and stars and things like that and Earth. You're not paying attention to Earth and your cruise total surroundings. Damn the metal beds and the wooden desk and the plastic chairs and the acrylic nails. Like those are materials made from the earth you're walking on, you know? So it's like you gotta be on. I'll be on hip hop is I gotta bring it back to life.
So hip hop is the portal with in your opinion, to why it's become popular. I agree. And did you want to tell people your Instagram, your TikTok, or?
I'm creating a TikTok, but you can find me anywhere on Google. Just Google the name Vince Maverick, spell Maverick, Mavrik. My Instagram is Crispy Cuts, and I have a clothing line coming called Prestige.909. That's that Instagram too. Check me out. Y'all ain't ready though. I'm hitting y'all this summer. Be ready for education, art, and creativity. It's coming.
All right. Well,
I want to thank you so much for inviting me. So much.
No problem.
It's a pleasure. Hopefully I can come back and holler at y'all world. I hope y'all ready for me. We gonna be back. We gotta come back. How about that?
All right. That is Love Me Some Sugar. And this is another deep dialogue. Have a good rest of y'all day.